You are shackled to a heavy steel chain in the back of a prison transport bus. You are absolutely terrified. Your heart is hammering against your ribs because you are entirely convinced that you are going to get stabbed the exact second your cheap canvas slip-ons hit the concrete of the recreation yard. But the 250-pound gang enforcer chained to the seat next to you isn't looking at your neck. He is aggressively, methodically staring at your waistline. Welcome to the most twisted, high-stakes dating market on planet Earth. Welcome to being gay in prison. You look around and realize you haven't just entered a correctional facility designed for rehabilitation. You have walked directly into a hyper-violent, state-sponsored meat market. And you are the daily special. You survive the intake process. You get stripped, sprayed, and assigned to your cell block. You walk down the tier, clutching your rolled-up plastic mattress, bracing yourself for the violence you saw in movies. But nobody throws a punch. Nobody pulls a shank. Nobody threatens your life. Instead, the men press their scarred faces against the steel bars and whistle. They make kissing noises. They lick their lips. They ask your shoe size. They ask if you like to cuddle. They aren't sizing up a rival gang member. They are window shopping. You are shoved into a tiny, windowless concrete cell. The heavy iron door slams shut behind you. You sit on the bunk and think you can read some books, keep your head down, and quietly serve your time. Absolutely not. Because in the prison ecosystem, an unclaimed gay man is a biological free-for-all. If you don't voluntarily pick an owner, the wolves on the yard will literally tear you apart in the blind spot of the recreation cameras. If you stay a free agent, you become highly contested public property. So you have to do the unthinkable. You have to actively audition for a monster. You go down to the day room. The air is thick with tension and the smell of stale sweat. A heavily tattooed shot caller with a terrifying collection of facial scars and arms the size of tree trunks waves you over to his stainless steel table. He doesn't threaten you. He smiles. It's a cold, calculated, deeply unsettling smile. He reaches into his gray sweatpants and slides a stolen, highly contraband bottle of baby oil and a perfectly preserved candy bar across the metal table. This isn't a friendly welcome gift. This is a legally binding, non-consensual marriage proposal. You are starving. The cafeteria food is practically inedible. You are completely terrified. You look at the other wolves circling the edges of the room, staring at you with predatory, hollow eyes, just waiting for you to decline his offer. So, you pick up the candy bar, you unwrap it, and you take a bite. Congratulations. You just sold your absolute bodily autonomy for a few ounces of cheap nougat. You are officially his boy. When the heavy steel door of your cell locks for the night, the terrifying reality of your brand new domestic life officially begins. You are trapped in a space the exact size of a standard parking space with a convicted, violent killer. You are now entirely responsible for the domestic upkeep of a concrete cage. You are washing his socks in the stainless steel toilet bowl. You are making his bed. And of course, you are paying the rent. But here is the absolute mind-bending psychological twist that makes your situation so uniquely horrifying. You actually need him. Because being claimed by one terrifying, violent man is the only thing stopping you from being preyed upon by 200 other terrifying, violent men. He isn't just your abuser. He is your boyfriend, your therapist, and your only security system. When you walk out onto the recreation yard, you have to walk slightly behind him. You have to literally hold his pocket. He is the only thing keeping you alive. So when the lights go out and the guards conveniently look the other way, the price for that protection is violently collected. There is no negotiation. There is no concept of a headache. There is no asking for consent. You are expected to perform your wifely duties with total, unquestioning enthusiasm. If you lay there like a dead fish, he takes it as a direct insult to his masculinity and his gang status. And injuring a shot caller's ego in a 6 by 9 foot cell results in a savage, blunt force fractured jaw. So, you fake it. You moan when you are told to moan. You smile when you are told to smile. You let this scarred, violent man use your body in ways that completely shatter every psychological boundary you have ever had. You dissociate so completely that you practically forget your own middle name. You become a compliant, hypersexualized ghost in your own body just to survive the night. And then the physical act is over. The lights are still out. And the dynamic instantly, violently flips. He pulls you against his heavy chest. He gently strokes your hair. He spends 2 hours whispering in the dark about how much he misses his grandmother's cooking. He vents about how the daytime guards are disrespecting him and hurting his feelings. The man who just violated every boundary you had is now, a wounded, homesick child asking you to hold him. And you do, because you have to. You are forced to provide deeply emotional, domestic intimacy to a clinical sociopath. You are trapped in a non-consensual honeymoon with a violent felon. The next morning, it is shower time. This is the ultimate, terrifying display of prison ownership. You walk into the steaming, echoing shower room, surrounded by 50 heavily armed, predatory men. The humidity is choking. Shivs are hidden in waistbands. The guards are staring at the ceiling. Your husband doesn't let you shower alone. He presses you against the wet, moldy tiles. He lathers up a bar of cheap institutional soap and physically washes your back in front of the entire gang. It is incredibly degrading, aggressively sexualized, and deeply humiliating. But you realize, with absolute paralyzing horror, that you actually want him to do it. Because every single man in that shower room is watching, and the message your husband is broadcasting is crystal clear. This body belongs to me. If you touch him, if you even look at him the wrong way, I will put a sharpened piece of steel through your kidney. You are caught in a psychotic Stockholm Syndrome loop. You start actively craving his protection. You start going out of your way to please him. You start doing hundreds of push-ups in the cell, not to build muscle to defend yourself in a fistfight, but to make sure your glutes look good in your gray sweatpants. Because your physical attractiveness is your literal body armor. You are trapped in a terrifying high-stakes beauty pageant. You know that if you let yourself go, if you gain weight, or if you stop being fun when the lights go out, he will dump you. And in the prison system, a bad breakup doesn't mean he blocks your number, deletes your pictures, and you go your separate ways. A bad breakup means he literally sells your physical lease to a rival gang. You are traded for 3 cartons of Newports, 2 bags of instant coffee, and a smuggled flip phone. If he gets bored of you, you are instantly recycled into the shadow economy. You don't get to pack your bags. You don't get to call HR to complain about a hostile work environment. You are simply passed from cell to cell, like a library book in a facility where nobody knows how to read. You are forced to learn the twisted, highly specific sexual preferences of entirely new predators. You have to figure out exactly how the new shot caller likes his socks folded, how he likes his shoulders massaged, and what he demands in the dark. You have to restart the entire traumatic audition process just to keep a roof over your head in a facility you can't even leave. So you swallow your pride, you smile, you flirt, you actively seduce the man who holds your life in his massive tattooed hands. You become the perfect, heavily traumatized, hypersexualized prison wife. You learn the unspoken rules of the yard. You never make eye contact with a rival gang member. You never speak unless you are spoken to. You become a master of psychological manipulation just to secure an extra carton of milk from the cafeteria. Years go by, the calendar pages turn, but every single day is exactly the same. You master the art of total, unquestioning submission. The concrete cell becomes your entire universe, and you become completely, fundamentally unrecognizable to yourself. You aren't a person anymore. You are a highly functional survival mechanism wrapped in human skin. And then, one random Tuesday, the guards walk up to the bars. They rattle the steel with their heavy keys. They look at a clipboard. They tell you your time is up, you made parole. They hand you a cheap mesh bag containing your civilian clothes from the day you were arrested. The heavy iron gates slide open. You walk out of the razor wire. You step out into the blinding, terrifying sunlight of the free world. Society expects you to seamlessly reintegrate. You served your time. Your debt is paid. You are supposed to be happy. You are supposed to get a job, pay your taxes, go to a gay bar, download a dating app, and live a normal, liberated life. But your brain is irrevocably shattered. You are sitting in a normal, dimly lit civilian bar. The music is playing. People are laughing. A handsome, completely harmless guy walks up to you. He smiles warmly. He compliments your outfit and offers to buy you a drink. He gestures to the bartender, and a few seconds later, he slides a colorful cocktail across the polished wood of the bar. You look at the glass, and your heart rate violently spikes to 180 beats per minute. You start hyperventilating. Cold sweat drips down the back of your neck. Your pupils dilate. You push your back flat against the wall, scanning the room for exits, because your brain doesn't see a nice guy buying you a drink. Your brain sees a candy bar sliding across a stainless steel table in a maximum security day room. Your traumatized nervous system immediately drops into overdrive. You start frantically calculating what horrific, non-consensual sexual act you are going to have to perform in the dark just to pay off the debt of this cocktail. You are bracing yourself for the violence that comes when you say no. Wow. The justice system didn't just lock you in a concrete cage to pay a debt to society. It didn't just rehabilitate you. It completely, permanently weaponized your own sexuality into a biological trauma response. You survive the cell, you endure the yard, but you never, ever escape it.